Hi fam, like I promised we're gonna have a 30 days challenge. I couldn't come on. So let's draft a Bustier with an illusion neck. I started with marking my starting line, inputting my shoulder, my basic neckline 3x3, my bust divided by 6 plus 1.5, which is my armhole line here. I have imputed all my vertical measurement, that's my bust, shoulder to navel, my under bust, and then my waistline. And this is me leaving it. So from my waist, I would take my waist to hip, which is my hip depth. Yeah, we're gonna use the hip depth for now. Later we're gonna take the measurement of the blouse we are doing. So I'll input my bust divided by 4, and then on my waistline I'll input my waist divided by 4 plus my dart allowance, which I'm using 1.5. On my hip line I'll input my hip divided by 4, connect my waist to my hip, and then on my armhole line I'll move up by 2 inches and move in by 3/4, and then connect them. Yes, so after connecting, I would input my nipple to nipple divided by 2 on my waist, on my nipple, and then on my hip line. So that's my dart intake is 3/4, which is 1 inch. So I'll divide that by 2, input that on my hip line, or you input that on my waistline, then I'll make my basic dart. So from my nipple, I'll come down by 1/2 inch, and then I'll draw my basic dart this way. So I have a tutorial on how to draft the bodice block on my channel, so kindly go through and you understand the basics. So from my shoulder I'll mark my cleavage, okay, how the cleavage I want to show. I'm using 7 inches, and then my shoulder, the shoulder I have left after taking my neckline, I would divide it by 2, and then I would connect it to my apex point, and then on my cleavage I would take a dart intake of 3/4, which is 1.5 on both sides, connect it to my apex this way with a slight curve. Yeah, and then that is it. So with the illusion from the picture I showed earlier, you could see it ended on the waistline. So this is it. You would just use your curve. If you have your free hand, you can just curve it this way. And then I want to tighten my neckline. So after tightening the neckline, I would input my underarm dart, which is the difference between my shoulder to waist and then also my one up to waist. It was 1.5. So that is what I just did. Now I'll tighten my underbust. So with the underbust tightening, you measure around your underbust, and then I had 1 point. It's a long process, so I'll teach that later. So I had 1.5. I used half on the center front, and then I used the remaining one on the side front. So from here, I drew my neckline. I want to take the length of my corset again. Most of the time, with an average person, I use 5 inches below the waist, and then when the person is big, I use 6 inches. So on my blouse length, I would move up by 1.5, and then connect with a curve, like you can see. Now I'll fold my dart this way, and then I'll cut out from my bust line, from my hip line. Yeah, now I want to transfer my underarm dart to my waist dart, so I have to slash open my waistline to enable me close my underarm dart, and then I would reconnect from my bust to my blouse length this way. So now I'm doing the cuts, and let me not bore you. Let's just watch. So here I'm coming down from my armhole by 1/2 inch. You can maintain what you have, and then you just shape the side this way, but I want to come down a bit by half an inch. And then also I would fold the shoulder darts. If you fold yours and then your your neckline shaping shifts a bit, you just redraw it back. But mine didn't shift, so I just cut through and then I'll just cut out my darts. This is my darts, and then to the contouring, to the waist, to the hip line. So this is my first time doing voiceover. If you love my voice, hey, don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow for more. Yes, this is it. So your bustier is ready. So now you fold the that you created on the shoulder, you fold it, okay, so that you don't have excess, because this and illusion is stretchy, so you need to fold that so that it wouldn't be stretchy. Then from the tip of your shoulder you come down by half an inch so that you tighten the shoulder, okay, too. We want our illusion to be firm on us, okay. So this is, you just cut through this way and then you cut through the new line you created on the shoulder. So our bustier is ready. Yes. Don't forget to follow me on all social media platforms. This is Vogue Empire. We learn how to cut and sew, how to draft, cut and sew for beginners and all that, and then intermediates. Let's all learn and grow together. So this is the back. I'm inputting all my vertical measurements. As you can see, I moved some inches away from the tape measure. That is me taking my nap to waist this time around, because our bust is fuller, our shoulder, our back and front half length are not the same. So that is why I deducted my 1.5 I used for my underarm darts. I deducted it from my back so that it would be different because of our boobs. So here I'm inputting my underarm, my armhole line, my shoulder slope, and then my waist divided by 4 plus my dart intake, and then I'll connect from my waist. So I imputed my quarter hip, and then here for the back, most of the time what I do is that if my nipple to nipple is 3 inches, for the back I add, when I divide the 3 by 2, I add half an inch to it because I taper my back by half. So I don't want my zip extension or my zip line getting too close to the center back. So I add half inch to my nipple to nipple divided by 2. So in this case, I added half an inch, making it 3.5. Yes. So now for the back armhole, you divide from your shoulder slope to your armhole by 2, and then from the midpoint you move inward by half an inch. So having done this, I connected my bust to my waist and then to my hip line. Now with the back, there are so many designs you can give to the back, okay. So this is me trying how I want to do it. So I finally gave it a vein. And then from the armhole, you remember from the front we did half an inch downward, so that is what I just did. And then most of this with my bustier back, where I have my my line, my where I have my bust, I don't leave my dart pointed like that. I add quarter of an inch to both sides of the dart so that my back won't be too pointed, it will lie flat. So that is what I did. And then I'm imputing my back neckline, and then I came down by 1.5 from the neckline to give me some kind of bottom. I would use a bottom, so I was given an extension for that. So that is what. And then I just did my tightening on my waistline. I moved in by half an inch, and then I connected it to the depth of my neckline, and then also to my waistline. So this is me trying how I want to make my back here. So that is it. Now I would take my blouse length, like we said earlier, 5 inches from my waistline. I just mark it out, and then now I have to cut. So watch me cut. I also did the 1.5 inches from my blouse length up this way, and then I curved it this way also. So now let's cut. As we are cutting, don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, share, comment. Yes, help a fellow designer grow. Also, you can send me your preferred styles. My DM is open. Also, and then this is Vogue Empire on TikTok, Vogue Empire on YouTube, Vogue Empire Official on Instagram. Follow for follow. Yeah. follow. Yeah. So now I'm cutting out my tapering. That is my back tightening. I'm cutting it out this way. Yes. And then I want to cut out my back design. Yes. So this is it. It is so beautiful. Don't worry. I was in my 90s. It was so late. I did this drafting very late. Very late. Yes. So this is it. Let me know about you. Let's watch it. Okay. So this is my center back and my side back. The center back will be cut 2, and then the side back will be cut 2. So you add all your allowances, and this is what you'll be having for the front and back. Thanks for